Welcome back to my channel. I'm Traben, and I've been doing a lot of retrospective content on this channel lately with my end of year tag, my top 10s, all that kind of end of year content you'd expect. Today I want to look forward and talk about what are my goals for BookTube in 2025. So let's talk about it. I'm going to start off with just my general reading goal and how those have been going. So last year I read 365 books. I made a video about reading a book every day and talking about kind of how it evolved from a joke and became something that I really wanted to achieve, but ultimately became something that was a bit too stressful and at times felt like more of a chore than it really was worth. This year I scaled back to 200 books, and I do really feel like that's about where I want to be. It keeps me at a decent pace, makes it to where I can read and review and think about the things that I'm reading without them becoming without having to move through too quickly or feel like it is burdensome. 200 did not feel unobtainable. I think I'm going to end up ultimately around like the 210, 215 range. So there's also some wiggle room in there as well. So my reading goal for next year is going to be about 200 books. The next major thing that I would like to do next year is to do more bullet journaling. So I've done bullet journaling in the past for tokusatsu series I was watching, like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai and Ultraman. Actually, I can go get my thing real quick. Hold on. Here's my bullet journal for my tokusatsu shows, and I would just make like a ranking of all the different villains that were in this particular series, or how many books I wanted to read in the year. There were all these titles that I wanted to watch again, so I had this like review thing where I was coloring in the different titles that I had watched, and then I also had just like what did I actually do each month. What I actually watch, all color-coded in the same way. A modified compile kind of system where I looked at lore, plot, overall enjoyment, relationships, and effects. I had a lot of fun putting these little art pieces together and coming up with like fun things I wanted to do to talk about it. I was looking at different manga from the different series, and so yeah, that's something I really want to get back into. I'm thinking about live streaming on Saturdays and just journaling whatever was going on that week. Early on in the year, kind of setting up different pages, and then at the end of each week, working through and getting the new content in there, making pages of just like either reviews or different trackers and things. Something I really want to pick up again. I would also just generally like to do more live streams. They're pretty easy to set up, and I like the direct interaction, although none of the live streams I've done so far have been have had a large audience. I think the largest I've had concurrently is like 8 people. But the only way to make that, to change that, I feel, is to have a regular schedule and to be doing it more consistently. So that is something I want to try to do on Saturday nights, is have some kind of stream, whether it is journaling or I'm doing reading sprints. Speaking of interaction, I'd like to do more tags in 2025. This is I'm not always able to watch a bunch of other people's videos or go and do comments and things like that. Tags are an easy way to build up that community. Like tag someone, let them know that you're thinking about them in your video and you'd like to hear their thoughts on the tag you just did. I mentioned at the end of every video to help build this corner of our booktube community, and I really feel like I need to be doing more of that, be more proactive in reaching out and either through tags or talking about collaborations. Those are the types of things that I want to open up this year to try to see if I can get to strengthen that community. Another goal I have for 2025 is getting a little bit out of my comfort zone. I feel like I am reading a lot of epic fantasy. I'm reading a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of horror, reading a lot of manga, a lot of graphic novels. I really enjoyed the last literary fiction book I took a look at, and I've really enjoyed the nonfiction text that I've looked at this year. In my reading challenge for 2025, my 25 for 2025, I'm going to try to more purposefully build in some nonfiction reads, some literary fiction, essays, those types of things that are a little bit outside of what I usually read. So I'm getting a little bit more, a wider range of reading so that I don't feel like pigeonholed or don't feel like I'm exclusively reading one genre. There are a few specific video plans for 2025. We're going to be starting off 2025 with trying to get through my backlog of Fairy Loot YA books. I have a video where I rank them based off of the first line of each book and then put them in an order, and that's my reading order for probably January and February. I think I should be able to get to through those in a couple of months. And then the other major thing that my wife and I have been talking about is doing a bookshelf tour. But that is a massive undertaking. That won't happen until summer. And I believe that's going to be split between my channel and her channel. So we're going to divvy up the different sections of the house and work through the different bookshelves, talking about what we have on our shelves, what we've looked at, just different little tidbits about like maybe where we picked up a book, or looking at how many we've read versus how many are still on our TBR, that kind of thing. But again, we've got more than 2,000 books in our collection. So that is a really big task to go through and like look at each shelf and talk about each book. So that won't happen for a while, but it is a plan for next year. One other thing for 2025 is I'm giving serious thought to switching over to the Storygraph from Goodreads, mostly because of their end of the month wrap-ups that they have. Storygraph automatically creates these charts and graphs for you about your reading habits and your different stats and things, and I just think it would be fun to look at that as a wrap-up at the end of each month, rather than my current process, which is waiting until my cart's full and then just kind of going through it and giving quick reviews for everything. So that's another plan for 2025, kind of outside of what I want to read and more about how I want to approach recording my reads, and another potential avenue for content on the channel for looking at those graphs and things at the end of each month to see how that reading month went, without having to myself sit down and crunch the numbers. Very appealing to me as someone who does not like math and does not like the tedium of like going in and filling in little spreadsheets and things like that. So another potential thing that I want to do for 2025. And those are my plans for 2025. Reading goals, different videos I want to do, certain things that are already set. Let me know down in the comments below what your reading plans are for 2025. Are you going to participate in the 25 for 2025 challenge, for example? Are there certain genres you want to pick up? Certain things you want to read more of, series you're trying to get through, like just anything that you can think of. What are your plans for 2025? Let me know. Let's start a conversation. As always, please like and subscribe so we can build this corner of our booktube community. I hope your reading journey is going well, and until the next one, take care.